So what's the difference between marketing and advertising? I mean, isn't it really the same thing? Two different words to express the same idea. This is Dave Simon. Today, I want to take a look at this question and try to get a better sense of what advertising is and what marketing is. Years ago, I was listening to Jay Abraham, and in one of his videos, he says, as a business owner, one of the most important hats you need to wear in your business is as a marketer. And I just found that to be such an unusual statement. It really took me some time to really figure out what he meant by that. Dictionary.com defines marketing as the action or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. So really what Dictionary.com is saying with including market research is it's getting to know your market. And maybe, getting to know your market's not a very personal word, but marketing is more personal. It's about getting to know people, getting to, communicating effectively to people. But before you can communicate to anyone, you have to know what your message is. And the sort of the seed of marketing comes with coming to terms or understanding what the essence of your music studio is. What is it that you believe in? Why do you do what you do? Once you can identify that, then you can formulate your marketing message. And then from there, all of your advertising efforts and your marketing efforts will flow from that point. So to go back to the original question, an advertisement is saying, buy this. And a marketing message is more about broadcasting your core values. Who was it? John Jantsch said, John Jantsch wrote the book Duct Tape Marketing. I really like this quote from him. His definition of marketing is getting someone who has a need to know, like, and trust you, and turning that trust into try, buy, and refer. So I want to break that down a little bit. He says marketing is getting someone who has a need to know, like, and trust you. Well, first of all, you as a marketer, you have to identify, well, what is that need? What are you selling that there are people in your community, or what are you selling that people in your community need? You got to figure that out first. And then from understanding that, you can then begin to get your community to know about you, to like you, and to trust you. Let's sort of think of it in terms of dating. When you go out on a date with somebody, you clearly understand what their need is. Their need is to find a partner. Let's go even bigger, a life partner. But before you can find your life partner, there are steps that you have to take. Okay, so to go back to John Jantsch, he says getting someone who has a need. Okay, so in the world of dating, the need is to find a partner to know, like, and trust you. So you go on your date, and you don't necessarily you're not going to ask them to marry you. You're going to get to know each other. You're going to ask them questions about themselves, and you're going to talk about yourself. So the two parties are getting to know each other. From that point, your prospective life partner is then going to decide whether they like you or not. They're not deciding whether they want to marry you yet. They're not deciding whether they want to start a relationship. They're just trying to figure out whether they like you. And then if, yes, they do like you and you like them, and then it moves to the level of trust. Can trust be formed? And if trust is formed, then you can move into the buying mode, meaning a relationship can start. When a prospect buys from you, you're now in a relationship with them. And you have to continue building that relationship. That's still marketing. Your marketing with that customer changes from know and like to, and yes, they've trusted you enough to buy, but you have to continue to build that trust. So there's this whole marketing perspective and teaching that goes on from from the customer side. We tend to focus so much on the prospect. How do we get the prospect to buy? Got to get them to buy. It's sort of like in our in our relationships with with our partners or spouses. When we're dating, we're so focused on them getting to like us, and then once we're in the relationship, we sometimes neglect the relationship and fail to build on that. And you'll be a better spouse, better partner. You'll be a better marketer and business owner if you continue to build on that relationship, continue to build that trust. To go back to the customer, in John Jance's quote, he says, and you have to turn that trust into try, buy, and refer. Well, in my dating analogy, you certainly, if you decide to marry someone, you don't want your wife or husband to refer you or refer another wife or husband to you. But in the case of a customer, one of the strongest marketing tools you have is the customer who's so satisfied and they trust you so much that they want to be a hero and tell everyone about you. They no advertisement can do that, because everyone knows in an advertisement what your purpose is. But when your friend tells you you've got to try this restaurant, they're telling you, they're sharing this feeling with you because they truly believe it. So marketing is really about relationship building relationships with the community so your community knows who you are, and then turning your community, generating leads and prospects from that, and then getting those prospects to buy and nurturing those relationships, not just through how you interact with them face to face, but but being able to systematize how you nurture those relationships, and then getting those customers to ultimately refer you out to their friends.